Probably our trainer, Rob Millette.
Oh, that's an easy answer. I'm going to go with Mullet, our trainer, Rob Millette.
How about from the active roster?
No, I'm not taking anyone from our active roster. We got to go off the board.
Last year I would have said Buff, but he looks a lot slimmer this year, so I'm going to have to go with Chris Thorburn.
Maybe Chris Thorburn? I mean, he's a big guy.
Chris Thorburn, I think his nose would stop a lot of pucks.
Shocker.
Mark Stewart blocks a lot of shots. I'd probably say him. He's pretty much like another goalie out there anyways. He stick handles like one too.
I think anything that Slater eats, I'd probably never want to try.
Yeah, no, I get a lot of hassle about what I eat.
Doesn't look good, doesn't smell good, and the aftermath is even worse as far as him trying to talk to me on the bench and his breath is terrible.
I do eat a lot of like garlic and some smelly foods, but they're good for the system, not good for the guys around you.
As you're playing this, he's probably breathing on me right now. It probably stinks really bad.
I've been told that I kind of maybe look a little bit like Bradley Cooper sometimes when my hair is longer, and maybe him, I guess, I don't know.
Jackie Chan, maybe?
Jim Carrey and Dumb and Dumber.
Probably a lot of people would probably say maybe Will Smith just because of the ears, but I like Denzel Washington. I'm a big fan of him.
Definitely John Travolta.
It's actually not bad for him. I could probably, yeah, I could see that.
He's a triple threat. He could sing, act, and dance.
Oh, man. John Travolta, no. Oh, who would play Thorbs?
I don't know, probably with the guy with the biggest nose in Hollywood.
You said something about the triple threat or something like that? Yeah.
What's my triple threat? Oh, God. Can we do Coke or Q&A? Coke? Coke? You want to do Coke? What we do Q&A?
So this is my special friend Chris. He doesn't get up much. He wears a tube. We're gonna take it off. Hey! Look at that.
I
hair,
can't
guys.
do it.
Look at this hair. Look at the nose. It's large. Outside of Brad Marchand and Jim O'Brien, he has the largest nose in the NHL. Congratulations, Chris.
Give me this.
Triple threat.
Triple threat.
Your cheeks on wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, it's like you're a dollar guy. You got Reebok on.
Multiple companies. They're all fighting for me now.
Do you want to see the monitor? You're good?
Yeah, I'm good.
And then junior, took a puck in practice, this one right here. And actually during the game about 2 months later, I took another one. Someone tipped a puck, a slap shot from the blue line, and hit me right here and went vertical. So I got one vertical, one horizontal, and face kind of looks like a road map.
Well, other than my face looking like a catcher's mitt, I got a few on my face, one on the back of my arm, but they're all healed up nice.
My worst injury was the end of the season. I was in the minors. It was the last game of the year, and we were both going to the playoffs. And I got high-sticked and lost my front tooth. So it's been 8 years now, and it was a meaningless game at the end of the game, and just happened to lose my tooth then.
Have you ever looked up any famous people who share your birthday?
I have not, so that's be interesting to hear. If
Greg
you got
Norman,
that.
the golfer.
Oh, wow, Shark. That's a pretty good one.
Scott Hartnell, Philadelphia Flyer.
Yeah, the great Andre Pavlik.
Blake Wheeler is 31st August, but he's, I think, 1 or 2 years older than me.
But I'm a year older, a year wiser.
Barry Melrose.
It's good hair.
And
good hair
Jesse
on
the
Barry.
Body Ventura.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Well, I don't know how to respond to that one.
I remember, 2 years ago when I passed out on the ice in the first game against Washington. A few weeks later, one guy wanted me to sign the picture when I'm lying on the ice, and all doctors was on the ice, so it was kind of weird, but I didn't sign that picture.
I had a little kid ask me to sign his forehead, which I obviously didn't do.
I just get asked to sign. People think I'm Jim Slater all the time. So yeah, I sign a lot of Jim Slater pictures.
Anywhere from shoes to money to body parts. We won't get into those, but
Geez, there's been some weird ones. I think I remember being in a bar in Vancouver one time and had to sign a bra. So I think that was kind of the funniest one.
I don't think it's for cameras.
Probably Bogo.
I'm gonna say Bogo.
Fine. I don't know.
He's a character. He's fun to be around. He's animated, and I think all the hunting and fishing he loves to do would be pretty entertaining.
What might that be called?
I don't know. Life of a redneck hockey player, maybe.
Thorburn, probably.
Thorburn again. I have to go with him.
Buff.
Why do you say buff?
I don't know. Just buff. I want to see a TV show about buff.
I guess Evander Kane.
Evander Kane. Probably Evander Kane's. I mean, his life basically is a reality show already.
Oh, probably mine for sure. I'm definitely the most entertaining.
It's already in the media enough as it is, so I don't know. We probably get a pretty good glimpse as it is.
I would say Evander Kane, that's for sure.
You would watch it?
No.
We usually take part in a card game. It's pretty innocent. It's nothing too crazy, but just with how competitive guys are, it gets out of hand at times.
I don't really play cards or anything. I don't gamble. I don't do anything fun like that. I'm not very fun.
Play cards.
Are you usually among the winners, or who are the good players and who are the ones to take advantage of?
Yeah, I usually end up on the right side of things. I'm not going to say I totally blow it out of the water, but the guys who usually donate money on a regular basis are probably Kaner and Thorbs.
Now, there's an expression when you're playing cards that if you can't figure out who the sucker is at the table in the first 30 minutes, then it's you. We've been told by a couple of people in that game that maybe you're sort of the easy mark and you're the donation in that crew. Is that?
Well, if you want to talk about donations, basically what I do is I take Blake checks and I just fill them in from guys like Chris Thorburn. I used to be Alex Burmistrov. He was a big donator. And Ron Hainsey. Me and Ronnie are probably the best card players. You can't trust Thorbs. It's like Pinocchio. You start selling lies and things happen.
I knocked out about 50 levels in Candy Crush, so that's what I've been doing right now.
Spartacus. Guy's a badass.
How do you look in a toga or gladiator's uniform?
I think I look good. I've wrapped a couple times. I've gotten some bed sheets and wrapped them around myself. And I think I could pull a toga off pretty good.
Probably High School Musical.
Believe it or not, me and Shives can sing a little High School Musical, so he's coming under the bus with me on that one. So,
actually, me and Jacob Truba sometimes rock out to it, so we know all the words.
Every now and then we sing along some High School Musical.
He said the same thing.
Did he?
So, yep.
So you're not throwing each other under the bus. My tweets, they don't happen too often, and when I have one, they're pretty good. And we just had one this summer that I kind of, he sent out a great tweet, and then I kind of threw a jab back at him, and got a lot of reaction. So I think it hurt Kaner a little bit emotionally, and I don't know. He just took his ego took a hit.
He's a big jokester, and he was one of those guys as a young player. He was really easy to talk to, so we got along well, and kind of a guy you could go to. And now it's kind of become, I guess a bit of a bromance of sort where we take jabs at each other and all in good fun.
It seems very one-sided. I don't know. I think Kaner might be a little bit more into it than Thorbs, but Thorbs is such a nice guy. You just kind of keeping a smile on his face.
They kind of remind me of an old married couple sometimes. I think it's kind of like the big brother, little brother kind of thing.
Like the pesky little brother?
I don't know, yeah. It just seems like, it's like a fly. Thorbs just can't get rid of him, and Kaner just won't leave him alone. And so it's cute.
Yeah, nice, Wheels, yeah. Yeah, well, I would agree. And there's not enough off or raid or whatever you can use to keep him out away. I mean, he's moving next to me in the locker room.
We sit beside each other in the locker rooms, both at the practice rink and at the home rink, and a lot to talk about. So he's definitely one of my best friends on the team.
Now, what we were told is that you moved yourself beside him in the dressing rooms, and the words stalking and restraining order have come up. And someone else described you as the fly buzzing around Thorbs' head that he's trying to shoo away. Is there any truth?
Do you have any names for those people?
Is there any truth to that?
There is no truth to the fly comment. There is truth. I was in one of the worst spots in the room, in my opinion, and wanted to move. And happened coincidentally enough, there was a spot beside Thorbs, and I thought it would make his day. And actually, the way I did is I ended up. He took me out to dinner that night, and I wanted to share the good news with him. And the smile on his face when I shared that was probably bigger than his wedding day. So I mean, he was really excited about it, and it turned out to be really well.
He's blowing up my phone at night. I mean, it gets a little bit crazy. I might have to put a restraining order on him.
Phew. You're gonna have to ask them about that one.
I don't know. They probably have a million.
I got in trouble a lot.
Probably when I was young, I still never admitted this to them, but we had these little magnets on the fridge. We had letters that whatever you wrote words or whatever. And somehow a bad word got up on the fridge, and I've always got blamed for that, and I'll never admit to it, but it might have been me.
And you just admitted to it now.
They won't see it.
I was an angel when I was growing up, so I didn't really get in a lot of trouble. Definitely a mama's boy, so anything I did usually got to fly under the radar.
I was an angel growing up. Come on now. Everyone knows that.
You're not the first.
I was fortunate enough where I had two older brothers, so whatever I did was just nice and easy.
I kicked the windshield out of the car one time. I got in some trouble for that one. And then I punched a hole through the window of my room, so got in a little bit of trouble.